Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon from this side of the world. Good morning if you're on the other side of the world, in the northern hemisphere, the Americas. Good evening if you're maybe in Australia or any of those places. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our program today. I welcome each and every one of you, both those that are watching live and those that will watch on the replay. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome to Growth Habits. Growth Habits. This journey that we are going to be taking together. My name is Ngozi Onwuchiloba, and I will take you by the hand through this journey of growth. We will walk it together. We will get through it together. I am your personal guide through this journey of growth. So welcome once again. Welcome, welcome. Who is here? I can't see anybody yet, but let's go on. So last week, we started this journey of growth last week, and we discussed just a basic introduction of what is growth. And one of my biggest takeaways from that discussion is the fact that growth is a process. So if you're here, just say hi in the comment section, just a word, say hello, say hi, say good afternoon, say good evening, say good morning, so that I will know that you are right here with me. So as I was saying, one of the biggest takeaways that I had, even personally, from the discussion of last week, was that growth is a process. It's not a one-off thing. It's a commitment. It's something that, is a daily habit. It's something that you do every single day. You grow daily, and it's something you commit to. It's something that you do intentionally. You make up your mind that I will grow, and you begin to take the daily steps necessary for that growth. So that was what we discussed last week. And this week we're going to look at mindset. We're going to look at mindset, because I believe that for you to truly grow, it starts here. If in your head you're not ready, if in your mind you're not ready for the process of growth, you can't grow. You can't grow. There will be no growth. There will be no development. There will be no moving forward for you. If in your mind you're still stuck in the 1900s, for example, or you're still stuck in 2022, just, last year, you can't move forward in this 2023. There will be no growth for you. So the first thing that I believe needs to be dealt with is our mindset. So welcome once again to Growth Habits. Growth Habits with Ngozi Onwuchiloba. Today we will talk about our mindset. We will talk about how the way that we think affects us, affects our ability to grow. So if you can just let me know where you're joining in from this beautiful, beautiful afternoon in the awesome city of Port Harcourt. That is where I am reaching you from, Port Harcourt in Rivers State, Nigeria. So if you could just let me know where you're also joining me from. Let me know your name and where you're joining me from this glorious day. So I said we're going to talk about mindset. And, generally, we believe that there are two types of mindsets. One, a growth mindset, and two, a fixed mindset. That is the general classification of mindsets. There are other classifications, but this is the one that, generally everybody accepts. Generally everybody agrees to these two definitions. And the first one is a fixed mindset. That is a mindset that believes that, Everything I'm born with is what I have. If I'm born with an ability to know mathematics, that is all. I can't change it. I can't do much else about it. No matter how much I practice, no matter the efforts I put in, what I'm born with, that is what I can achieve. I cannot go beyond that. For example, in our schools in this part of the world, we are either art students or we are science students. Maybe you have an inclination towards mathematics and such. You're a science student, so you follow the path of science. But if you don't have an inclination towards mathematics and all that, you are termed an art student. And I think that is part of what kind of restricts a lot of us from this side of the world, because we've already been programmed that I am an art student, so I can't do well in mathematics. Let me tell us a personal story before I go on with the discussion. When I was in secondary school, it wasn't in this country, so it was like middle school. I wasn't doing very well in mathematics. In fact, I was failing. If I say I wasn't doing very well, that sounds, that's how we two-shop failure. I was failing. I was failing in mathematics. And I couldn't care. Really, I didn't care, because in my mind, I don't know mathematics. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just not good at it. I will face other things. So that was the mindset that I had, because that was how we were trained. That was what we were meant to believe. So I just went on like that. During one of the holidays, my uncle visited us in the house. And of course, my parents told him my results, because, he was always very interested in me. I never knew why, but somehow he was always like, Ngozi is the one that will carry, I don't know. He's an accountant anyway. So, and my dad is also in the finance stream. So my uncle came, and when my parents told him my results, he was disappointed, because he felt I expected more from Ngozi. That was his own idea. So he called me and he told me that Ngozi, I've always thought you would be the one that will follow in your father's footstep and my footstep and go into finance. I've always thought you were very intelligent. We know how our parents and relations talk to us. But see, something in that thing he said changed something inside me. Because when he said it, it was almost like I felt attacked, honestly. I felt attacked. I felt looked down on. Simply because of what? I was failing mathematics. So when he talked and said, I even thought, you would be the one that would be the accountant and go on to do us proud in the area of accounting. I'm even sure my uncle will not remember this discussion, because it wasn't as if, he said it, sit down, let's talk, let me put some sense into your head. He was just expressing how he felt when he heard of my results. But something changed in me that day when he made those comments. I was like, why should this man write me off just because I don't know maths? What is even in this mathematics? What is the big deal about mathematics? So as he had finished talking and he left, and I sat back down and I talked to myself. I'm like, I don't see what's the big deal in this mathematics. So yes, I'm failing it, but is it not possible that I can still do something? So I went back, got my primary one mathematics book, and I began to read it. In fact, I read it the way they read novel. I did not solve. Normally it's mathematics, for you to know it, you have to start solving. I didn't solve anything first. I read that mathematics book the way they read a novel. I read it from beginning to end. Before ever I started to solve one single 1 + 1. I finished with that. I went to the next level of mathematics book. And by the time that session had ended, I had moved from failing mathematics to getting a C. I had improved. And I now began to see that this mathematics is not as bad as they say. It's just a simple thing. Understand the formulas. So I continued teaching myself. Even as I was attending the classes for that year that I was in, I continued to look at the primary school mathematics books. And at the end, I passed mathematics very well. I think I either made a B or A or something, but I can't remember exactly the grade, but I passed very well. And that word my uncle said kept ringing in my ear. I still kept thinking, there is more. I can do more. It's not just to pass mathematics. And truly, that's why I read accounting. There is no other reason in this life I read accounting. It sounds funny, but that is why I went into accounting. And I read accounting, I passed accounting, I came out, I read ICANN, studied for ICANN, took the ICANN exams, passed. All because somebody challenged me. But you see the thing I want us to take away from that story. If I had stayed with the mindset that I was born without the ability to understand mathematics, which is what most of us do, I wouldn't have done anything. Today, who knows, maybe I would have been a better person. I don't know. Maybe I would not be, but I would not know the things that I know today. That is for sure. The experiences I had today in the area of finance, the fact of being a chartered accountant, writing ICANN, going through that whole exams, learning the things I learned by the process of writing ICANN, I wouldn't have had it. I wouldn't have had it. I wouldn't have been, the person I am today, the past chairman of Port Harcourt District. I would not have had all those things. Maybe, yes, I would have flourished in something else, possibly. But the point is that I didn't stand on the ground of, I don't know mathematics, so let me face something else. No. So for us to grow truly, we have to leave that fixed mindset that these are the talents I am born with. This is the ability that I am born with, and I can't go beyond it. I can't do more than that. At least I have shown you. I have given you welcome, Ma. Welcome. Pastor Favor, thank you for showing up. Olivia, thank you so much for showing up. So, it's just the fact that I believed in my head. It started up here. It didn't start anywhere else. It started in my head, and I believed that I can do something. That initially I did not know mathematics was not a hindrance to me. For you to experience growth. Welcome, Choma from Abuja. You're welcome. I experienced growth because I was willing to accept that it is possible to do more than just what I'm born with, just more than in the innate abilities I was born with. I was willing to accept that, okay, initially, yes, I don't know mathematics, but I can teach myself. It is possible to learn it. So many of us don't believe that it is possible to learn. I go back to mathematics because I know that is one of the things that most people will have issues with. We don't believe that it is possible to learn mathematics. So I learned it and I applied it, and I even surprised myself many times. I surprised myself the things I'm able to do in the area of finance. This is someone that was failing mathematics initially. So the growth mindset believes that, yes, I'm born with some talents, of course, but I can develop some. If I work at it, I can develop something else. I can develop another talent. I can develop another area of knowledge, another area of study. Welcome. Pastor Gloria, welcome so much. Welcome. Thank you, Ma, for joining. Constance, I can see you. Welcome. Thank you for joining. So the growth mindset helps us be able to go beyond that hindrance, that thing that holds us, that says, I don't know this and I don't know it. And as I was preparing for this live today, I realized that I have another hindrance. I have another thing, another hold on me personally. And that is the belief that I can't draw. And I don't have the abilities, which means I am now not creative. I don't know if we understand. I don't know if it has ever happened to you, because, you see people, they just put hand on paper, they are drawing, and they are drawing beautiful things. You see people, they just put hand and they are writing, and you see the flow of what they are writing. And you sit down and you say, oh, they were born with it. They have the talent. And because I don't have the talent, I can't do likewise. And as I was preparing for this, I began to tell myself, Ngozi, yes, you might not know how to draw right now, but you can teach yourself how to draw. You might not become a Picasso tomorrow. Probably not. But at least you can do something worthwhile. Oh, I know you are not the very, when it comes to writing, I dread writing, even myself personally. I dread writing. But I know that it is possible for me to teach myself to be able to write those poems. Those people that are writing it, they don't have two heads like our parents used to tell us. I don't know if our parents used to tell you then. That person that is coming first, do they have two heads? They actually do not have two heads. They have the same one head that you have. But because in your mind you have closed up and decided that I can't do this because I do not have the innate abilities. I don't have it inborn in me. There is hardly anything that is not learnable. There's a book I heard about recently, and I've actually begun to even read a little bit of the book. And the name of the book is Everything is Figure-Outable. It was a book introduced to me by Coach Dr. Shogo. He brought that book, and initially I was like, what does it mean everything is figure-outable? But as I began to read the book, I realized that what he's teaching is there is nothing in this life. Oh, welcome, Pastor Grace, Kevin, welcome. There is nothing in this life that we cannot figure out. There is nothing in this life that we cannot do. Nothing. Nothing. Even the Bible tells us nothing shall be impossible unto you. Having growth in any aspect of life, any aspect. Good afternoon, ma. Welcome from Owerri. Welcome, son. Welcome, ma. In any aspect of life, starts here. Starts with your mindset. Welcome, Major. How are you today? Trust you're having a good day. Growth starts with our mind. You have to believe that you can do it. There is no area of life that we can't figure out what to do. Everything is figure-outable. I will look for the author and possibly post it in the comments. Look for that book and read it. It's really, really, really mind-shifting. Everything is figure-outable. Oh, really? You can't hear me? Oh, wow. Ken Oluchi, you said my voice is not coming out. Can everybody hear me now? Is it better? Is it better? Or do I still need to speak out more? Is it better now? Can we hear me much better? Okay. All right. Thank you for confirming that you can hear me. So like I said, it is doable. Everything is figure-outable. Everything is figure-outable. Okay, so how do we now go about developing this growth mindset? What can we do so that we develop this mindset of growth, this mindset that believes that all things are possible, this mindset that says, I can do it, this mindset that says that everything is figure outable. Everything is figure outable. One is to embrace your mistakes. Now, I know this sounds, well, what do you mean embrace my mistakes? Recognize, accept, embrace your mistakes. I read a book. Let me tell us another story of my journey. The first time I wrote the ICANN exams, I failed. Not even just that I didn't do well. I failed and I was devastated. I've never failed an exam. Since that mathematics in middle school, I have never failed an exam. I've always passed all my exams. And here I was writing the ICANN exams and I failed. Double star. Then if you're a student of ICANN, you will know what I mean. Double star. That means you repeat everything. And I was upset. If I was ready to give up, I was like, nope, I'm done. No more. I don't have time for this. After all the effort I put into this exam, I failed it. No, I'm done. But my husband encouraged me, and several people encouraged me. And I can't even remember now who gave me this book. But somebody gave me a book by John Maxwell. And the name of that book is Failing Forward. Welcome to me. You're welcome. Nice to have you here. The name of the book is Failing Forward. When I saw the name, I'm like, nope. Failing forward is not even possible. How do you fail forward? The very nature of failure is a backward movement. The very nature is a backward movement. So how do I fail forward? How is it possible to fail forward? I took the book. What will I do? I've already decided I'm no longer writing the ICANN exams. So let me read the book. At least let me keep myself busy. So I took up this book and I began to read. And I came to get that book if you can. John Maxwell, Failing Forward. I came to realize that failure is a backward movement when we don't take the lessons of that failure. When we don't find what are the gems in that failure. When we don't take the time and find out what did I do wrong that made me to fail. It doesn't mean that it's all, sometimes yes, you fail because of exterior factors, but find out what did you do wrong. So for you to truly grow and experience growth all around, you need to recognize and you need to accept the mistakes, you need to accept your failures, and you need to take the lessons therein. Find the lessons therein and take them and run. Welcome, Abigail. Thank you for joining. And run with those lessons. It doesn't help us to ignore our failures, to ignore our weaknesses. It does not help. It does not help. Because if you ignore your failures, your weaknesses, you can't overcome them. How will you overcome them? You can't. Something that you are not taking note, you cannot, it's useless to you. It's useless to you. So look for recognize the areas that you missed it. Recognize them. Accept them. Yes, I failed. Yes, I messed up here. Yes, I missed it here. Accept it. And once you have accepted it, look for the lessons. Find the lessons therein, because there must be. For myself, when I failed that ICANN exam, by the time I finished reading this book, I realized that one of the problems I had was my way of studying for the exams. I thought ICANN exams was like the exams I wrote in school. You know, in school, the teacher teaches you or the lecturer lectures you and basically gives you an area of concentration, because most times they won't go too far from what they taught you. Even if they are going to deviate from what they taught you, they will tell you, please make sure you go and read this. Make sure. That is basically how it works in school. But in the ICANN exams, it was not like that. Because the people that teach you are not the people that are going to set the exam. A whole different set of human beings are the ones that set the exams. So I had to change my study method. By the time I tweaked my method of study, I began to take notes as I read, I take notes. And then when I'm doing my review, it's those notes that I look at, not necessarily the big textbook. By the time I tweaked it, I passed the next exam. So you see that when you sit down and face your failures, failure is not always a bad thing. We make it bad. It's not always a bad thing. You can turn that failure to a positive thing. Accept it, learn from it, and move on. That is one of the will I say it's easiest? It might not be the easiest, but it's one of the ways to ensure that you grow. It's one of the ways to ensure. Another way to ensure is also to learn from the mistakes of others, not just your own now, but the mistakes of others. When others have done things, how did they do it? What did they miss? Learn from it. Take the time. Find out who maybe has gone this path that you're going, and learn from their mistakes. Welcome, Ebele. So glad to have you here today. Learn from other people's mistakes. There's a wealth of information, contained in other people's journeys. So study other people's journeys, and from there you can pick up some lessons. Then one thing that helped me and has helped me through life is that I hardly say I failed. I'm only saying failure here for our sake to teach. I hardly say I failed. I say I learned. See, when I can't remember who it is now, but when I think he was Benjamin Franklin, I believe, when he was looking for discovering the bulb or something, he had done like 1,000 experiments and they all failed. And when he was asked, he said he has discovered 1,000 ways that don't work. He never accepted that those 1,000 mistakes or those 1,000 failures were something bad. To him, he said, I have discovered 1,000 ways that do not work. So I don't fail, I learn. Replace the word failure, because we have attached so much negativity to the word. If you can replace it with learn. Thomas Edison, thank you very much. Ebele was Thomas Edison. He said, I have found 1,000 ways that do not work. So I'm still looking for that one way that works. And eventually he found the one way that worked. If he had allowed the 1,000 failures to weigh on him, to make him feel bad, maybe we'll still be in the dark ages with no light. I wouldn't be doing this Facebook Live because there's no light, no power, no light, no bulb, no illumination. So replace the word fail with learn as much as possible. As much as possible, as much as you can. It will help you. It will help you in this journey. Another thing that helps with growth is when you begin to value the process. I'm trying to look for the exact words for what I want to express. When you value the process and not just the end point. Value the process, the journey to growth, the journey to whatever. It doesn't even matter what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to get to. Value the process more than the end point, more than the end result. Most of us, our eyes are on the end. I am not saying we should take our eyes off the mark. We should not take our eyes off what we are trying to achieve. That is not what I'm saying. But value the process. How did you get there? How are you getting to that end that you want? What steps are you taking? Value the process, not just the end point. Value the process. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. I think is an expression when they say stop and smell the roses. You're walking along the journey of life, and you don't bother to perceive that there are flowers along the road. You're not stopping to smell the roses. You're walking along the journey of life, and you're not valuing the process, the very journey itself. You're only looking at the end. For example, if I want to go from here, I find it actually happened to me. I'm trying to remember where we were going. I suddenly realized that a lot of things had changed on the way to that place. And if I had not paid any attention to the road, what was happening, I wouldn't have noticed the developments. I wouldn't have noticed the new buildings. It's not as if those things per se now, in this example I'm giving, added anything to me, but just noticing those things made the journey actually more enjoyable for me. So value the process. Stop and smell the roses. Notice what is by the side. Notice what is happening along the road that you're traveling. It's also part of this learning the lessons. If you don't stop and smell the roses, you will not even notice that the smell of the rose is so beautiful. So value the process. Value the process, not just the end point. You will plan the journey, of course. You will plan how to get to that desired end, of course. But let also the journey of getting from point A to point B be valuable to you. Value it. One other thing that has helped me, because I'm trying, as I said, this journey, we're taking it together. It's not just we are going together. I'm sharing some of the things that have helped me so that you might want to apply them in your own journey also. One other thing that has helped me in my journey is that I don't take criticisms as criticisms. They are not negatives to me. You can, even if you're giving, it's not, how they put it, even if the criticism you're giving me is in your heart, you're giving it with bad intent. You want to press me down. You want to make sure I don't achieve, and that is why you're criticizing. As you're talking, I am sifting. This one is a learned skill. You learn it. As you're talking, I am sifting what you're saying. Taking the things that are valuable from that thing you're saying. The rest, out, into the trash. Into the trash. So I have learned to take criticism as a positive. Like I said, it doesn't matter what is the person's intent. I've worked in offices where I've been called names that if I say it here, you people will be shocked. But in the process of those bosses calling me those names, I chose to find out, why is it that this man is even being like this? What is it I'm not doing right? That does not justify the person being mean. No. It doesn't justify the meanness of the person giving the criticism in a wrong way. The word I was looking for is constructive, even if the criticism is not constructive. I have turned the criticism to be constructive by myself. By myself. In my own head, I turned that unconstructive criticism to be constructive. So what did I do that made this person be able to tell me what they're telling me? Where did I miss it that opened the door for this vile words or whatever it is the person is saying to me? When I discover my own failings, I begin to correct my own side. If you like, don't correct your own. You that is giving me the criticism, if you like, don't correct your own. I've corrected mine. I've improved. I've grown. I've become better than you. I have become better than you, and you're still there, sitting, criticizing the Ngozi of yesterday. Yet Ngozi have moved to next week, not even tomorrow, because I've taken what you said. Though you intended for it to bring me down, though you intended for it to annoy me, you intended for it to make me cry. I may have cried though, maybe I may have cried. But after the cry, why did this happen? What can I do differently so that the next person will not tell me this, so that the next person will not have this to say to me? I look for it. I look for it. And as I find it, I take it, I apply it to myself. And like I said, you are still here. Talking about Ngozi is this, is that, is the other. Ngozi has moved to next week. Welcome, Cynthia. Welcome, Joy. Nice to have you here. So take criticism as something positive. It doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't matter what the intent of the person giving it is. Take the positive from it. Find the lessons inside. Apply it and move on. Leave the person behind. That negative, leave the person behind. Another thing that helps in mindset, because what we are talking about today in relation to growth is our mindset. How the way you think, the way you process things can help you grow your mindset. So another thing is to be diligent. Keep doing. Be diligent. Do your best. Do your best. And be sure that you truly did your best. I think I was discussing with somebody recently, and they were, giving me, things that were happening, this, that, the other. And I asked, did you do your best? Did you explore all the ways? Are you sure there's not something you left out? Yeah, maybe the situation is tough as you say, probably. As bad as probably, but have you done all? Were you diligent? Did you do all you could? Welcome, Nehemiah Thomas. Nice to have you. Please do let me know where you're joining me from. Wherever you're joining me from, let me know. Let me know. I'm so glad to know where you're joining me from this glorious afternoon. So, be diligent. Because yes, there are talents we have. They are innate inside us. There are some things that somebody was telling me the other day that I seem to have a talent for teaching. It's not true. It's not true. It's not natural to me. It's not natural to me. In fact, when I was younger, I used to say that if there's any job I will never do, is to teach people. I don't know how to tell people things. Joy coming from Lagos, welcome. I don't know how to impact what is inside my own head to another person. Or I didn't. Let me not say I don't. I didn't. But what did I do? I worked. Diligence. I worked on it. I taught myself a lot of things. I taught myself a whole lot of things. And I listened. I listened to people. I followed other people's journey. I must give credit right here now before. One of the people that has helped me and brought me out and helped me to develop me is Pastor Favor. If that woman ginger you and you do not improve, something is wrong with you. Your village people, they are holding you somewhere. So try and be diligent. I'm sure some people here can testify to what I just said about Pastor Favor. She will bring it out. She will draw it out of you, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. So I have not always been able to stand and tell people things. Those that know me know that I don't want to call myself shy, but I'm quiet. I am quiet. Sometimes my quietness fears me. I'm afraid of my quietness. But from the mentoring I've received from Pastor Favor and some other persons, but I have to keep saying because definitely she had a great big chunk of it. From the mentoring I've received and from diligence on my own part to apply what I am being taught. I didn't just hear and leave it. I applied. Diligence. Oh, welcome, Christabel. So nice to have you here. diligence. Do your own part and ensure you've done all that you could possibly do. Do all that you could possibly do. All right. I think I will talk about one more thing and we'll probably end it for today. But I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm impacting some kind of value to us. I hope we're learning something in this process. Let it not just be that I'm here rambling and talking and talking. So I pray, I believe that we're gaining something from this. The first thing to do for you to grow, change your mindset. Change your mindset. Don't remain as it was in the beginning. So shall it be. World without end. Change your mindset. Change the way that you think. Allow yourself to evolve. Allow yourself. Allow your way of thinking to evolve. Allow the best to come out. Like the short video I put in, just live life from the inside out, not from the outside, the inside out. Allow yourself to evolve. Okay, I'm so glad that many of us are learning something. Allow yourself to evolve. Okay, so I think, like I said, this will be the last, probably the last point that we'll raise in the area of mindset. Then I would like to hear from you. What did you learn? What made sense to you? What will you do differently from today going forward? So I think the last thing I'll talk about is for you to change your mindset, to change the way that you think, and for you to be able to grow. You have to look at time and effort realistically. You have to look at time and effort realistically. It's so easy for us to set goals and say, this is what I will achieve. Many of us, this January, we've already prepared our goals, what we're going to achieve in 2023. We've done our vision boards, we've done our plans, we've prepared all those things. But in preparing that plan and that vision board, think of the time and the effort and be realistic about it. There is a place for faith, of course. There is a place for faith. Having faith that you will achieve great things by the power of the Holy Spirit. That place is there. We can't touch it. But we must also be realistic in the things that we are expecting to achieve in our journey of growth. This is part of changing your mindset. This is part of aligning your mind to the things you want to achieve. Be realistic. Don't let your expectations be too unrealistic. I'm being very careful with my words because I am a woman of faith and I believe that the impossible is possible. The impossible is truly possible. But even with that, I need to know that there are some things I cannot achieve in 2 months. There are some things that with all the power, there are some things that might not be possible to achieve in 2 months. So I should be able to say, okay, this will take me maybe 3-4 months. Be realistic. Be realistic. And I should know that I have 24 hours in a day. I don't have more than that. Nobody has extra hours. Yes, sometimes by the power of the Holy Spirit, time can be compressed for you, but you still have 24 hours. You find yourself achieving much more than you ever thought in some situation. Yes, true. But still, we are still in the flesh. We still have body to deal with. So let's be realistic with our goals. Let's be realistic with our expectations. Let's be realistic with the things we want to achieve in this journey of growth. If we remember that in our first session, I mentioned that growth is measurable. You cannot measure something that you have not, what's the word I'm looking for now? You've not put in place. Is that the word? For example, if I say I will achieve this in 3 months, I can only measure it with the yardstick of the 3 months. I can't measure it if I have not said I can do this in so and so time. That's one of the reasons why I need to be realistic in the expectations we have as we are growing. And so with that, I believe we've come to the end of these sessions. I don't know if anybody has questions that you would like to ask me, something you would want me to elaborate on, something you would want me to talk more on. If we have anything like that, please put it in the comment section. Or you have your learnings. What did you learn? What stuck out to you? What stuck out to you today? Even for those that will watch this on the replay, what stuck out to you? What did you learn? What things do you expect to do differently in this year based on what you have heard? Welcome, Agu Chenna Chamaka. It's good to have you here. It's good to have you. So it's over to you. What things do you want to ask? Questions, comments? What stood out to you? What did you learn in this session on mindset? Remember, this is growth habits with Ngozi. So what did you learn? I'm waiting to hear from us. I'm waiting to see what we have to say. Waiting to answer our questions, attend to our comments, and so on. What did we learn? What did we learn today? I don't know if it's network or that nobody is saying anything. So what did we learn today? I saw people saying we are learning. What did you learn? What did you learn? I want to know. What did you learn today? As we round up today's session and we prepare for the next session on Thursday. Remember, the next session is on Thursday. Same time, 12 noon, right here, once again, on Facebook. So what did we learn today? I saw some things people had written earlier. Replace the word fail with learn. Value the process, not just the end point. Yeah. Recognize your failures, if any. And don't just recognize it, accept it. Don't just recognize the failures. Accept the failures and then learn from it. Learn from those failures. Okay, Abigail says that she's learned to replace the word fail with I learned. Yes. With I learned. Welcome, Chisomwachuku. Yes. Okay, Timmy learned that she should take criticism as a lesson. Yes. It doesn't matter the intent of the person that's criticizing, is how you take it. You take the criticism as a lesson and move on. Throw away the rest of, I was telling people some time back that I had a boss that, the man knows how to wash you properly, rinse you out and hang you out to dry. And I learned when he's talking, this is what I hear in my own ear, until he gets to a point where he's saying something that I feel is a lesson for me. My ear opens. I will pick those lessons, those things that I believe I need to move forward. And once I have picked that, the next thing I hear is in my ear. I developed it. I didn't have it all this while. It's something that I worked on and I developed, so that when people are criticizing me, I hear the good in it, the lessons in it. I pick it. The rest is trash. I trash it. So yes, learn to take criticism as a lesson. Welcome, Daniel. Good afternoon to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Are you just joining us now? Because we're already rounding up. We're already trying to round up. So yes, I think we can call it a day right here. So remember, growth begins with your mindset. If you believe you can grow, you will grow. If you take the steps that lead to growth, you will grow. If you learn to take lessons from just about everything that happens, the good, the bad, the ugly, learn to take the lessons from there and apply. It's not just to take, apply. Application is very important. You will grow. See, these things I'm saying, they relate to your personal life, they relate to your spiritual life, they relate to your business. They relate to your business. Companies hold retreats at the end of the year because they want to look at the learnings from the previous year so that they can apply them to the future and make sure that the company continues to grow. So learnings are very, very important. Learn to not fail, but learn to learn. Learn to learn at all times. Be a learning person. Be someone that learns every time. Every time. Let every situation be a time to learn something new. And I promise you, the level of growth you will experience in your life will even shock you. And at this point, I want to thank each and every one of us that joined me this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And those that will join, watch the replay, I believe you will enjoy every single minute of this session today. Thank you all so very much for joining me. See you next time on Thursday, this Thursday, today's time. Time remains 12 noon and right here on Facebook Live. Thank you very much and see you on Thursday. Bye.